All right. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Daybreak Live. My name's Krissi. I'm with Positively Osceola, as you can see, and I'm excited because today, for this episode of Daybreak Live, I get to chat with Marilyn Cortez-Lovato. She's the director of Osceola Arts, and not only is she a fantastic woman, but she is so in tune with the community, the arts, getting people involved, educating, and it is awesome. And so we love to see what she's doing. And right now, Osceola Arts is actually going to be having um, an exhibition. It's with the Florida Sculptors Guild. And so she's going to tell us all about it. She's going to tell us about the days, the times, how to see it, and give us all the information. But it's not just a visual this time. The art is going to be more hands-on. And I want her to explain why and what that means and why it's important. So let's jump right into it. Let's make it official and play the video. And then we'll introduce you to Marilyn so she can tell you all about the new exhibition. All right, let's see if I can get this video going. Here we go. All right, once again, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another episode of Daybreak Live. My name's Krissi, and let's bring on Marilyn Cortez-Lovato from Osceola Arts. Marilyn, how are you doing today?
Good morning, Krissi. I am just wonderful. And again, thank you so much for showcasing Osceola Arts today.
You're welcome, and thanks for hopping on. This is awesome, and you know I love to hear what's going on in and around Osceola County, and this is such a unique exhibit. It's different than the other ones that we get to see typically. So share with us what is Revision, why are we doing it, and why is it important for the community?
Oh my goodness. So we have invited back the Florida Sculptors Guild to, they have a traveling exhibition that was curated by their organization. And recently they had an exhibit actually earlier this year called Dream Shapes. And I was so excited to have the Sculptors Guild come back for their traveling exhibit titled Seeing by Hand Revision, which is an exhibit not only to see, but to also touch. These are sculptures, 3D works of art that are showcased for people with vision loss. So we are outreaching to our Osceola County community, our Central Florida community, to come to the center to enjoy this wonderful 3D exhibit that is hands-on with a guided tour to touch the exhibit, to touch the artworks, the unique works of art created by the members of the Florida Sculptors Guild. So I wanted you to also invite our guests on, who we have the president of the Florida Sculptors Guild, and her name is Susan Stermanan, and she is going to talk a little bit about the whole program. And we're including Arlene Freeberg-Vivaldi, who's the VP of the Florida Sculptors Guild. And they can tell us a little more about the whole experience that awaits our community in the gallery.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's bring on Susan. Susan, how you doing this morning?
Good. Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate everything that Marilyn and Osceola is doing for us at the Florida Sculptors
Absolutely.
Guild.
It's really exciting. Susan, tell us a little bit about the exhibition and what's your role in it?
Well, we actually started Revision at Castleberry Sculpture House in this past fall. It was actually a reprisal, believe it or not, of Sight Unseen that we had done in Winter Gardens at Palacic. And the whole concept is people that have visual impairments or vision loss. How do they experience art? They can't see it. So they experience it through touch. So everything at Revision is to be touched and experienced through that. And when we actually did it at Castleberry, because of grant monies and sponsorship monies, we were able to put this show on. We found that people that were both with visual impairments or sighted, out of the two, the people with visual impairments got the art faster. So even if somebody was wearing a mask who was sighted, they couldn't guess it.
No way.
Because, oh, it was crazy. And there was epiphanies, and all the turnout was amazing. I mean, considering we did this the past fall when COVID was still happening, we still had 708 people that went through.
Wow.
That we counted. I mean, there could have been a couple that slipped by us, but it was amazing. You know, so Marilyn actually came and saw it at Castleberry and said, we have to have it here. And why not? Because this whole idea with this show is that it gets out into the communities so that people can experience it. I mean, little kids, people that are older, whether you're sighted or not sighted, you can experience art. How nice is that?
Yeah.
Right.
And I also wanted to thank Susan, and including Arlene, who should be coming on shortly. They both have assisted me specifically with installing the show, because, you know, installing 3D art, especially for people with vision loss, if you noticed in the last image you showed, there are these studded rubber placement squares that are placed around each sculpture, so that people with vision loss know where to stop. And this is part of the Castleberry, at Castleberry Art House, Sculpture House in Castleberry had this exhibit. So I attended and took some pictures of a tour of children and adults with vision loss. And I was so wowed by the interaction that they were having. And, you know, it's important to include people with disabilities in our exhibits. It's as Tom Babcock, who is a representative, who has also become a wonderful friend at Osceola Arts. He's a representative of Lighthouse of Central Florida. He has vision loss. And he also is a rep for Greater Orlando Council for the Blind, has been assisting and just giving me good feedback on how to present. And we plan on providing a workshop for about 10. There's Tom in that picture, and there's Arlene. That is actually another exhibit we had earlier this year, but Tom attended. And, you know, he's such a wonderful force, positive force in the community. And so I'm hoping he can coach us more on not just how to bring in groups to approach this exhibit, groups with vision loss, but also a workshop we'll be having, and our reception, art reception, which is on July 9th. We are also reaching out to young people and adults, children and adults with vision loss, for a free workshop, a clay workshop, which will be provided, will be at Osceola Arts. So that's another goal of ours, to bring a free workshop for people with vision loss to participate in touching clay and creating a 3D item. We have an Orlando-based teacher who has worked with children with vision loss in the art room, in the art classroom in Orange County. So Jesus Marin, who also has sculpture in this exhibit, will be the teacher for this. He will be teaching this workshop, and we're just excited because there'll be a tour before that. And all that information if people are interested in finding out more about that, they can email me at marilyn@osceolaarts.org. Again, this is on July 9th. The art reception is from 2 to 5, but before that, we'll be providing a tour and a workshop for a group of people with vision loss. So we're really excited about that. We're getting a grant to do this. So this is really, that's how we can make it free, to a free workshop. So, and we're excited about that. And this is something new for us because, you know, it's important. Again, Osceola County, just like Orange County, Seminole County, we have people who are struggling, who need assistance, who are blind or with partial vision loss, who need to have these opportunities. Arlene, can you talk a little bit about your experience with this wonderful exhibit?
I'm glad to. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Krissi, for inviting us on. I have to say that our revision, we were expecting very few people to turn out over COVID. And one of the things that made it very successful, I believe, was not only was the art touchable, it was touchable for everyone. And for the sighted, we added the, I think Susan mentioned, we added eye shades so that they could experience what the vision impaired experience. And it made
That
them
is
very,
so cool.
yeah, and it opened it up to the rest of the community so that they could come. You know, we had people that were bringing other people along, and they also got to enjoy the experience. So I was very happy that everyone had an opportunity to experience this. Now, the other thing that made it very successful, I believe, is the attention to detail. One of the things we had, you know, aside from the bumpies that were in front of the artwork to make sure no one ran into it, but we also had an audio visual aspect to it. So each of the categories were in galleries. And if you went to the visual, we had a big screen and where every artist would talk about their piece. So if you clicked on it, you'd get to hear about the piece. We love that part. And as far as revision going forward, we would like to bring it to, you know, Jacksonville or Tampa, Miami, trying to get into Art Basel. We really want to bring this around because I think touching sculpture is something people don't normally get to do.
Right, right. I feel like this is something that sighted people take advantage of on a daily basis. They can go to a gallery, they can see it, don't touch it. But now this is an opportunity to allow those who don't have sight to really experience it, and maybe even on a completely different level, because we'll never understand what it's like to not be able to see and experience with our hands and take it all in. So, you know, taking advantage of our sight is something that we don't even think about.
Don't think it. And I have to say that we were trained by Lighthouse to how to guide the vision impaired. And when we had the sighted people experience it, we had them put on the eye shades and explain that we're going to guide you the same way that the impaired get guided. And they found it, when you have to put your trust in someone else, it is really hard, especially when you know them. So leading them to the artwork, it was thrilling for them. It was really thrilling for children as well, because they never get to touch art.
Exactly. And I also did want to mention, you know, throughout the months of June and July, we have art camp going on 5 days a week. And at this moment, this week, we have almost 60 kids on site. And I gave them a presentation. Each week, I will be giving a presentation about the exhibit, and we have those eye shades, disposable eye shades for each child, and I will be taking small groups and leading them to at least one sculpture, explaining, because a lot of kids, you know, who have vision may not necessarily know somebody who has a disability or you know, has daily interaction with somebody with a disability. So this kind of, for me, as a teachable moment to show them, and that they, you know, this is what it's like in a person's real world who doesn't have their sight. And so I think it creates a certain amount of empathy, or actually understanding the trials and tribulations of going through the real world without your vision, without your sight. And so this, for me, as somebody who has taught children art in a past life, pre-K through 8, we have kids from 7-year-olds to, I believe they're 13-year-olds, 13, 14. And so I was amazed. We had a nice discussion together about people with disabilities. They were very articulate in their understanding. So the kids were very open, and my sign-up sheet is full. They are eager to try this out. And again, it also gives them a chance to understand that we touch things gently. We're not, yanking on the artwork. It's about learning to touch without, and learning to see without your eyes, seeing with your hands. So this is exciting for us to bring one extra thing to our art campers.
Well, I want to jump in there just for a second. Something that
ahead.
Tom always talks about. People that are coming to this particular show that have vision loss, they're not to worry about touching, because he said one thing that came back as feedback was people were saying how they were surprised and they were worried, like, can I, and how hard? But Marilyn's taking care of all of that. And that's the bumpy tiles on the floor also give people with vision loss an idea that once you hit the bumpy tile with your foot, ahead of you is the sculpture, so that then you can touch. But they don't have to worry about knocking it over, because Tom said that was a concern he got back from GOCB members. Like, if I go there, am I going to knock it over? Is there any chance that I'll break it?
Yeah.
And
That's a normal question.
Kids.
Well, and in a museum world where people don't touch, we still secure things physically. The things are secured physically to the floor, the pedestals, the artwork is secured to a pedestal. And this is just to, again, safety first for our visitors.
That's fantastic. Arlene, what would you say is the thing that's the most important to you about having this exhibit locally for us?
I think one of my takeaways and what I'm most proud about is that we've introduced a whole new market to art. As artists, it's very visually oriented. And since we've had this exhibit, I think artists are more aware of texture and how that speaks as well. So it's not just about how your artwork looks, but how it feels. So we just added a whole new dimension to our sculptures. And to me, that's the best thing, really, is that now everyone can go to see or feel or experience artwork.
Yeah, fantastic. Susan,
Yes.
Same question. What's the most important thing for you about this exhibit?
Well, people, when we first started revision, let me back up. When we first started with the concept of revision from sight unseen to really look at it again, we realized that people with vision loss are like they're the last forgotten group.
Mm-hmm.
They've been marginalized. Yet, when we were talking about it, and I had everybody on Zoom, I'm looking at like 3/4 of the people there wearing glasses. That's vision loss.
Also true.
Okay? We don't notice it anymore. It's almost like, they're fine. When they're not. And, we need to be aware of what they have to go through on a daily basis. I mean, Tom was saying about how he had to learn to walk across one of the busiest intersections in downtown Orlando that I don't want to drive. And he had to learn to walk it. So all of this awareness is what revision does. And the other thing that blew us away was that people had epiphanies. I've never seen that before. So people that had vision loss were reminded of something when they were touching the sculpture. And then people that were sighted were amazed at how they didn't get it. Wow. And Arlene, tell them the line you used to say to people about when somebody was sighted and they didn't get it.
No idea. But
no, it was that they have to do this, just did it for now, but this is what somebody who has vision loss experiences.
Right. Oh, yes. When after they were very uncomfortable, because I would ask those that were wearing shades when they took the shades off, well, how did that feel? And they're like, it's really uncomfortable. And I said, uncomfortable for you, and you can take your shades off. And how about they live that time all the time? They can't take their shades off. That is their life. One last thing that I'd like to mention about the exhibit which was super, is that a lot of sighted people a lot of vision impaired people bring sighted people with them, and to
Yes.
watch them both, in the same playing field, not having the sighted person be able to see anything and to the room, and they are both having to experience it, just through their hands. That was fun to watch. And then when they took off the mask, they could see, well, it's not at all what I thought it was. And I said, welcome to their club. So
Yes.
that's good.
Wow. I can't imagine experiencing that. I'm going to have to get over there and watch some of the tours and see what the interactions are like. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a fantastic exhibit going on from June 6th all the way until July 31st. It's called Revision, brought to you by the Florida Sculptors Guild, and it's Seeing by Hand. So if you want to check out this exhibit, you can go to OsceolaArts.com, learn more information, or you can contact Marilyn at OsceolaArts.org. And Marilyn, do we have any final thoughts for our guests who are watching today?
Okay, so the exhibit runs through July 31st. Our galleries are open Tuesday through Friday from noon to 5. Anyone who's interested in a tour, a private tour, people with vision loss should contact me at marilyn@osceolaarts.org. The galleries are open on Saturdays and Sundays during our live performance events. We have a theater, We Will Rock You. Will be in the theaters. So we have lots of activities. Because of art camp, we do kind of want to revolve around lunchtime because the kids are in the parking lot. They run around like maniacs. So we kind of want to make sure that the private tours are after lunch, so around between 1 and 5, and Tuesday through Friday. And then again, Saturdays and Sundays during our live performances. You can go to OsceolaArts.org to check out our theater schedule or contact me.
Fantastic. All right. And then let's start with Susan. Any final thoughts for you that you'd like to share with our viewers?
Come to the show. Come touch. Come on. We got fingers.
Bring it, baby. Bring your hands.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. We do disinfect the exhibit. We do have, we have a disinfection. After each showing, we do. I am responsible for wiping down the art.
Now,
so
true story. What people were asking, what to submit? It had to be textural. It had to be sturdy, and I had to be able to spray it with Lysol.
Right.
Those were the 3 requirements. Okay?
Very important.
Yeah. But yes, please come and enjoy.
Awesome.
And also, if anyone is interested, people with vision loss interested in the workshop on July 9th, Saturday, please contact me, Marilyn at Osceola Arts, so that we can sign you up for the free clay workshop.
Fantastic. Arlene, final thoughts from you.
Bring your friends, bring your family, and take a dive into the unsighted world. So be brave. Bring your sense of humor, and enjoy. Really, just have a good time, and it'll give you something to talk about with your sight impaired friends.
That sounds fantastic. Ladies, thank you so much once again for bringing us to Seeing by Hand Revision. Brought to you by the Florida Sculptor Guild. It's been a pleasure seeing all of you and chatting with all of you today, and thank you for sharing everything with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a fantastic rest of your day, everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
You too. Bye.
Thank you.